People, wake up. Break's over. It's time to get back to the greatest league in football. Welcome for joining us. It's Jason Mattis with Between the Posts, joined each and every single week by Matt Lawrence. How's it going, man? Haven't seen you in a couple weeks. I missed you. What's been going on?
Seems like it's a whole new league now, Jason, with all of these COVID absentees. The Brazilian FA is not letting the Brazilian players play this weekend. It's just this is a weird week.
I've never even seen officials run onto a pitch and even stop a game like that, like they did in that Argentina-Brazil game. Weird.
That was insane. I had some Argentina. I was like looking forward to that one, and then it just all gets shut down. So, yeah, tough stuff. But yeah, I mean, here we come back to the best league in the world, like you mentioned. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's time to kick on. Before we do that, let's remind everybody we're powered by BetUS, a great sports book out there. Don't forget they have amazing sign-up bonus. You can also use cryptocurrency with them, just at a great book. They've got great odds, less promos and boosts that you're accustomed to for some of these U.S. sports books, but just amazing odds and great sign-up bonus. So go ahead and check them out. And in this video description, you'll find a referral link if you do want to check them out. Matt and I would be grateful and thankful if you use that sign-up link right there. As you guys know, each and every show starts off with doing a 90-second recap by each of us. We'll let Matt go first. Recap match week 3 for the people.
That was a tough one for me. I didn't perform up to weeks 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, Leeds didn't get the job done. They had to come from behind against Burnley. That wasn't good. West Ham, that kind of debacle against Crystal Palace where they score, London Stadium's rocking, and then they just they concede a cheap goal really to Palace. And I mean, so yeah, it wasn't the greatest week, but I think that I was close on some, and yeah, I'm excited for this week.
Okay, yep, good stuff right there. My 90-second recap is it was another profitable week for me. I went 4-3 plus 0.49 units. Some of my wins were that Manchester City easy up over Arsenal. Also under 2.5 in Chelsea. Who's not betting under 2.5 in a Chelsea game? Got that to cash. West Ham team total, they got the 2 goals that we needed. And the book sucked me in on that Leicester money line, and I got those sports books. They have that nice Leicester win up over Norwich right there. Now I'm 10-6 on the season and plus 3.18 units up on the season. And guys, just remember, that's only bets provided on the show. We talk about how we're each both a great Twitter follow. I've given you guys extra money on Brentford on the double chance, West Ham draw no bet, Antonio 2+ shots on target, plenty more other bets. So maybe only 3 units worth of profit here on the show, but definitely been killing the Premier League overall so far on the season, 3 weeks in, and we like to carry that on into match week number 4. As Matt was saying right there, this is a tough week, though. Tough week. We talk about lineups each and every time, and we talk about giving you guys bets and leans, but also being lineup checking. This is really an important week. Matt, touched about it right there. You got the Brazilian FA that is not letting the players move or participate. So the one question I had for you with that is the rule is they can't participate for 5 days. What about, how does that affect Champions League with Tuesday, Wednesday? Because the 5 days doesn't start until Saturday, because technically the international break doesn't end until Friday, even though, these guys are starting. Are these guys even banned from playing Champions League Tuesday, Wednesday?
I think some of them could be. It's I don't really know the circumstances on that one, because this is such an odd thing to happen. It's very rare that this kind of occurs.
Yeah.
So really, I haven't dug into it too much, other than I know that all of these players are out this week, and that puts a wrench in a lot of these sides. I mean, when you're looking at Liverpool with Fabinho, Leeds with Rafinha, Alisson, I mean, the list goes on and on for players all across this league. Gabriel Jesus. I mean, so yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. It's a really weird one this week.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, I'm excited to talk about match week 4. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's let Matt take first. He can go and tell us and break down how about Crystal Palace versus Tottenham kicks it all off on match week 4.
Yeah, Tottenham hovering around evens, maybe just odds on around -105 here on the road at Selhurst. And it's a tricky one. I mean, Tottenham, top of the table. Do they deserve to be for some of their performances? Probably not. I think that Wolves could have easily equalized a couple weeks ago. I mean, they've just scraped it, but hey, I mean, that's what Nuno Santos does well. I think that he's going to set them up, especially on the road, to be extremely compact. Yes, they're going to give up some shots, but just shots, that aren't in around the 6 box. So it's, shots coming from distance that have a low percentage of really going in the net. So I believe that Spurs can scrape this one. However, Son, it sounds like he got injured on international duty. I don't think that he's going to make this trip. So, again, this is a lineup checker for me. You're going to hear that a lot from me this week. I could see Spurs and their mojo continuing here, but it's a tough travel spot. I thought that Crystal Palace showed a lot of fight against West Ham at the London Stadium, like we touched on earlier. And this is generally a pretty tricky match. So for me, I'm just going to swerve it for now. But if I can see a good Tottenham lineup around even money, I don't think it's the worst look in the world.
Yeah, it's certainly not. And to your point, you can get that right now at minus 105. So I think that is a good look right now. You do have Spurs on 3 straight wins. All those wins have come 1-0. So you would think maybe under 2.5 would maybe a good play here because Palace, doesn't really have a lot of threatening. And obviously, like I just said, Spurs 3 straight 1-0 wins. But that would just make me nervous. Like, when is Spurs going to start scoring? Maybe they don't have Son, but they still have Harry Kane. They still have Bergwijn, so they're capable of scoring goals. I would be nervous about betting under 2.5, even though it's been a good play in their 3 fixtures. Because defensively, though, I think under 2.5 would be a good play because you know what you're going to get with Nuno Santos right there. And then from Palace, we talked about it, showed good fight. I had West Ham on that money line against Palace and obviously got burned. We talked about Palace before being pesky Palace, and that's kind of what they did. West Ham let them hang around, and then they were able to get a nice equalizing goal there up against West Ham. So, yeah, it makes me nervous. I'm with you. I would lean, Spurs on that money line. I think they
I like
can
the
scrape
under
it.
a bit.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Jason. I think that what Nuno's doing when you look at their setup and their roster essentially is he's realizing that the defense isn't that strong. I mean, they don't have the greatest defense, Spurs. So he's going to set them up more defensively to compensate for the quality of his players. And so, yeah, I think that tends to lead to unders. And, yeah, there's not a ton of scoring really going on right now. But, yeah, I think that you're on the right track, though. That's a good lean.
Yeah, I think you're going to, and you were kind of hitting on it right there, more even long-term with how they're setting up. I think under 2.5 could maybe be a play with them. They're just going to be tough on that defensive side. So, all right, we got Spurs money line as a lean, under 2.5 as a lean. Let's move it over now to Arsenal versus Norwich. I'll go first. Right off bat, when I looked at this fixture, I thought both teams could score. I mean, that was kind of my gut reaction, is both teams finding the back of the net. Arsenal's obviously looked just terrible. Norwich has looked terrible in 3 games, but keep in mind who they've gone up against. They've gone against Leicester, they've gone against Liverpool, and they've gone up against Manchester City. So all teams that were expected to just roll them. I thought when the fixture calendar came out that this is where their season started. Yeah, they weren't going to get any points from those 3 fixtures. And we knew Arsenal coming in, we're going to kind of be hovering around that 10 spot. So this is one where they thought they can get it. So I do like both teams to score, and you can get that right now at minus 125. While Arsenal has looked terrible, I think they do have more of the quality. I think they can probably scrape out a victory, maybe something like a 2-1. So maybe if you like both teams to score, maybe you also throw in an over 2.5. But I would just kind of keep it simple in this one. I think both teams can find the net. They'll both have good spells of possession in this game. So at minus 125, both teams to score. That would be my lean in this fixture. What about for you?
I completely agree. That was my initial gut reaction, was both teams to score in this one. Maybe if Arsenal put out a quality lineup, because they do tend to beat up on the minnows generally in this league. That's where you can find Arsenal right now. Struggling against top half teams, should be able to beat the lower likes. I believe that if you get a good lineup, maybe it's like a both teams to score and Arsenal to win. You could get a pretty big price on that. But yeah, again, just looking at some of the illnesses and whatnot, I mean, there's a long list of question marks right now. I think a good website for the viewers to check out is premierinjuries.com. They do a really good job of just quotes from the managers, summarizing everything and kind of giving like a guesstimate on when the player is going to come back and when he sounds like he's going to be fully fit. So I think that Arsenal should win this match. If they don't, Arteta is one more step away from getting the sack. I think that he leads the sack race right now.
Yes,
and deservedly so. So if he doesn't pick up all 3 points here, they're going to be out for his head there at the Emirates. So, yeah, I think this is a must-win spot for Arsenal here, and they need to find their form. And I'm kind of just waiting on lineups again. If I get a good quality Arsenal lineup, because there is one positive. Granit Xhaka is not going to be in this lineup, and I think that's a boost.
Yeah, no, you're right. He is definitely on the hot seat. Norwich won't be in the Premier League next season at home at the Emirates. Yeah, you better get all 3 points in this fixture. I agree with you completely right there. What about Brentford and Brighton? How are you seeing that one unfold right there?
Tricky match. Books can't split it. It's pick 'em on both sides. Brentford at home, Brighton. They can score goals, as we know. I mean, they look fine. It's one that I just quickly kind of swerved. I circled under 2.5 because Brighton, at times struggle to find the back of the net. Brentford, I know they're at home and they're probably going to go for it here, which is the one worry. But yeah, I think that they've generally just kept it pretty tight thus far in the Premier League, and they kept it really tight in the back half of last season in the Championship. So yeah, I would be looking towards unders here if I had to play. I don't know who is going to scrape this one. I would probably lean towards the more complete like Premier League side in Brighton, but a road match. We saw what happened on match day one with Arsenal. I put Brighton and Arsenal actually in similar kind of category here. So yeah, this is a very easy one for me to pass.
Okay, yeah, I liked some of the things you touched on right there. And one of the things you touched on was Brentford playing at home and being a little bit more attacking. I think you may see that from them in their three fixtures. One of them's been at home, they got a victory, and then their two road fixtures, they scraped out draws. But I think doing at home, I think they will be more attacking. I think this is where they'll play more of their forward-thinking football that they'll play through most of the season. So I like your point there. Brighton, I do agree with you. They're not going to be pushed around by the newbies at all. I think it'll be a good, hard-fought match. I need Maupay. I just picked him up on my fantasy team over the international break, so he's in my squad personally, so I need him to go ahead and do something in this one. But jokes aside, I think both teams will score. And you can get that right now at plus 105 because I think Brentford will be pushing hard on the offensive side at home. And Brighton, I think, has enough. So at both teams to score and at plus money, if this bet wasn't anywhere near plus money, I wouldn't like both teams to score, but you're getting it at plus 105. So I'll go ahead and lead both teams to score right there at plus money for my lean right there. If we go ahead now, move it over to Leicester versus Manchester City in the community. Did we lose Matt? I think we may have lost Matt. Let's see if we can't get him back right there. But Leicester, we got Leicester. Oh, there he comes. We've got Leicester and Manchester City going on right here. This is obviously a rematch of the Community Shield. He's going to call back in. Let me hold on. We'll get him back on there. He'll call back in. Here he is. There we go. There we go. There's Matt.
Okay. There we go. Are we still all good?
We're still all good. We didn't give you the boot. You're back. We're just talking about Leicester, Manchester City. I was obviously talking about how it was the rematch of the Community Shield. I think in this fixture, Manchester City is the one that's got to change. They're the one that needs to come in with a different game plan. We saw what Leicester did in that Community Shield and how they were able to earn that victory and lift that trophy. I think Leicester can kind of sit back and if Pep Guardiola is a little stubborn and doesn't want to change because he says maybe I didn't have a strong lineup in that Community Shield, so I'm going to do what I do. Okay, great. Brendan Rodgers clearly knows how to stop that. He's got the game plan. He'll know what his players, the instructions are. So I think Leicester is a little bit more comfortable in this fixture. Obviously at home makes them even a little bit more comfortable. I didn't bet this game. You've mentioned some of the lineup checking that needs to go on. Ederson is a Brazilian. He'll be out of this game, so you don't get Manchester City's, a goalkeeper right there. We know my lean, I guess, would be, games versus top four. We saw it tons last year. We've already seen it this year. And Chelsea versus Liverpool under 2.5. So that would be my lean because you can get that at plus money at plus 110. How do you see Leicester and Manchester City unfolding?
Yeah, I mean, you can even stretch it to under 3 goals to protect yourself a little bit more. I look at this match, and I look at all Man City matches, it seems like, over the last year, and I just see control unders. I mean, they just control the pace of the match so well. Leicester will be licking their chops here. They know what to do against Man City. They have the perfect blueprint. They're going to try and do the exact same thing. Now Foden and De Bruyne are going to be inserted into the City lineup, which makes things more difficult because then sure, you can sit back and try and play on the counter, but now you really have to give a lot of energy and focus into your defense because they can pick passes in between the spaces. I want to go with City here, but I do think that Leicester. I just don't like the price, I guess, and I think that Leicester at home are always a tough. It's a tough place to go, tough place to beat them at. I was looking at City and unders. I think it's unders. I think it's an unders match. That's probably where I'll sit here, and again, just kind of seeing what City roll out there. If they roll out like an A+ lineup, then I think that they should be able to be too much here, and maybe they can learn from their Community Shield mistakes.
Good stuff right there. All right, let's now move it over to the game that's going to get all the headlines this weekend. No game will get more attention than this one right here. It's Manchester United, and it's Newcastle, and it's the Ronaldo homecoming back to Old Trafford right here. This place is going to be rocking, folks. You'll think you're at a rock concert. You'll think you're at a Metallica show. That's how much this place is going to be rocking. Newcastle, no chance. They got no chance in this picture, and it's obviously the superior quality in Manchester United, but then you add in that Ronaldo homecoming, that atmosphere. Obviously I'm a Manchester United fan. Everybody knows that. I wish that we weren't wasting Ronaldo's homecoming up against Newcastle. You know what I mean? Like, this place is going to be rocking. It's going to be hard for any club to come in Old Trafford this weekend and beat it with the Ronaldo story. So I wish this was an Everton. I wish this was, kind of maybe like a Leicester, one of those two teams. But it is Newcastle. Yeah, they just got no chance. They're not going to be able to punish Manchester United on the counterattack with Varane shoring up that center back position. This one, to me, it just comes down to how do you want to bet this one? Do you want to bet a clean sheet? Do you want to do a team total? Do you want to say Manchester United scores in both halves? What do you want to bet? I lean on Manchester United to score in both halves at -135 as my lean in this game. The goals are going to be aplenty in this game, and I think they're going to find them on both sides of the whistle. So that would be, clean sheets are just uncomfortable sweats. And I think you can get value in other spots in this game, so I would stay away from the clean sheet, even though I think it can happen. Newcastle did score in both fixtures last year, but in one it was an own goal. So I think the clean sheet is definitely well within play here. But yeah, it's Manchester United all day long in this picture. What about for you for this one?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, when you're looking at you would need Newcastle to be completely 100% here to even put up a fight, and I still think that they would lose. Their top goalkeeper, Dubravka, he's out. Shelby's out. Almiron's on the 5-day regulation from FIFA. Callum Wilson's questionable, maybe even doubtful. Fraser's out. I mean, they just have a ton of issues. And then on the flip side, you come into this ground, it is going to be the most rocking Premier League ground all weekend, probably the most that we've seen since some of those like Liverpool Champions League matches like a couple of years ago when they were playing against Barcelona. I mean, the atmosphere is going to yield itself to chaos. And in chaos, I mean, just goals galore for United. I think that you have the right. I think that you're looking at it right. I think that United -1.5 at home. What is the price? Do you know what the price is on that? I don't have the book up in front of me.
I think it was -180, which is above my cutoff.
So, I mean, even United -2. United -2 would be a good look to me. At 2, you get your money back. I think that they win this by 3 clear goals. I think Ronaldo does score. The price isn't great, but I think it's one of those that maybe you put in a parlay because it's one of those that to me it's written in the stars. He joins the club that he left and loved. It's his home club, really. To me, it's a little bit bigger than Sporting. In a sense, because this is where all of his dreams kind of came true. And I think that he scores. I think that United halftime, full-time, score in both halves.
All United, all of it.
I think it probably is an all United affair.
All United.
And I don't have this on my card. I don't even know what I'm waiting for. Now I'm getting all excited about it. And I think that after we get off here, I think I'm going to find a way to place a couple United bets because I just don't see it for Newcastle here. I don't think they have anything going forward. Their defense hasn't been good. There's nothing stopping this train this weekend. And, I think it's going to be like a 3-4-5-0.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly. I saw Manchester United's Twitter account. It was either late last night or early this morning. You always predict their lineup. They give away jerseys or whatever they give away if you can correctly predict it. They said, is Ronaldo going to be in the lineup? I tweeted him back. I said, well, is water wet? I mean, are you kidding me? Because your next two fixtures are on the road. The next time he steps on the pitch will be at Old Trafford. Don't kid yourself. He's playing in this game.
Will it be in a starting position? I hope so.
He's the fittest player like in America at like 58 years old. He's so fit.
He left Portugal early. He doesn't need any time. Cavani was playing, I think, for Europe. I mean, I don't know, but yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Manchester United absolutely roll this weekend.
I just need Ole to tell me who's going to take penalty kicks because I got Bruno on my fantasy team. Obviously, he gets a lot of value in PKs.
Ronaldo's taking him.
He's taking him. I know he's taking him. I just need that confirmation that I can drop Bruno and get somebody. He's taking him.
And I don't say this very often, but I think that minus 230 for an anytime goal score, I think it's a slam dunk here.
I think you're right, though. It's a parlay piece. You can't bet that kind of stuff, but you're right. Drop that sucker in a parlay for sure.
Yep.
All right, you go first. You got Southampton and West Ham. How's this one going down?
Southampton and West Ham. I mean, Southampton looked okay against Newcastle. First half, they looked really good. And then the second half, Newcastle completely flipped the screws on them and should have won the match and collected their first win. But, yeah, and then West Ham, disappointing. But I'm going to go back to them one more time here. I think that West Ham in the draw no bet market is a completely fair way to look at it. I got minus 125 on it, and I think that they're better at almost every position when you're looking at this one. So Southampton are a club that's in a little bit of turmoil. I don't think this will become easy, but I think after 90 minutes you'll see the quality shine through with West Ham, and just Antonio's feeling really good in front of net. Bowen, Fornal's just got his he just played for Spain, so he's feeling really good. So yeah, I think that West Ham should be far too strong here, so I'm more than happy to go draw no bet. I think at worst that I'd get my money back here.
Yep, no, I would agree with that analysis right there. I find this match difficult, and it has everything to do with getting burned against Crystal Palace. I know as a bettor you can't do that. We can make good bets and get bad results, but that is just stings me. I could have had a sweep, the last match. I could have had a nice sweep on my Premier League card if West Ham went and take the victory. So I definitely struggle, and like I said, it's more of a mind game. Everything you've said is completely accurate. So, but for my lean, I went ahead and did a prop bet for this. You can get Antonio to have 2+ shots on target at plus 210. That's where I lean. But again, it's more of a head game. I thought Matt's analysis was spot on. West Ham has more of the quality from just the players and more of attacking. They should get the job done. So I agree with what you said there. I wish there wasn't a in my head. I wish it wasn't bothering me in that game. I could clear focus and see.
Well, you had 2 weeks, Jason. You had 2 weeks.
I know. To clear. But then once I started looking at it midweek, and all the pain and the agony all starts just flowing back into you, Comes back. All right, the next match is going to be a snooze fest, and I have no desire to watch this one. None. It's Watford, and it's Wolves. Wolves can't score this season. Watford, I'm not going to watch a lot of Watford games this whole season, to be honest, right here. So, but when it comes down to it, Wolves need a result, right? You've lost 3 games. You've been shut out in all of them. You haven't gotten on the score sheet in all of them. They just need a result. And this is against newbies. This is against Watford. You need to get some form of result, get on the score sheet, at least score a goal, obviously. But I think more importantly, they do need points. But yeah, I got no desire to watch this match. I got no desire to bet this match. No part of this one. What about for you?
Same for me. I don't really have any interest whatsoever in betting this match. I think that if I had to, I think that Wolves do scrape it. The draw no bet price isn't great. Yeah. The Wolves are going to score here at some point. I mean, they have too much quality. They've put together some really fantastic opportunities in the first 3 weeks, and just that's the way that football works sometimes. Maybe after 2 weeks, players go away, they come back. Maybe now we can see them kind of light it up a bit. But, I mean, this is a big chance for them. But, yeah, again, from a betting perspective, just nothing there. I think that they've got this one spot on with their lines.
I don't even think I had a lean for that game. Yeah, I just scrolled up my notes as you were talking. I was like, I didn't give a lean. Yeah, I don't even have a lean for that game. That's how bad I want no part of that game. Don't even have a lean. Don't watch it. Mm-hmm. Don't bet it, folks. You'll lose your money. All right, next one here is Chelsea versus Aston Villa. I think this one kind of falls in the same line of Manchester United, just in terms of the opponent having no chance. I give Aston Villa no chance. And when I say that, I think I get a statement from the club helps me out here. This would be early in the international break when these players were leaving. Obviously, the Premier League clubs all decided they were going to ban their clubs. Well, Aston Villa came out and said, you know what? We'll let Martinez and we'll let Buendia leave. You guys can go to Argentina, play in the games, but make sure you're back for Everton. You don't need to be back for Chelsea. Don't worry about that match, but come back for Everton. That's them saying, we got no chance against Chelsea. That's not me telling you you got no chance. They're telling you they've got no chance against Chelsea. So, yeah, to me, Chelsea is going to roll in this match easy. It's at home. It's at Stamford Bridge. Again, no Martinez, no Buendia in this matchup. Chelsea's way too strong. All Lukaku's doing is scoring. I mean, that's all that guy's doing. He's scoring over international break. 10 men Chelsea didn't even let Liverpool crack them. I know, sometimes you can say, well, that's because maybe you go in a little bit of a shell, but I mean, Chelsea had opportunities to score there in the second half. They looked pretty good there on a couple moments there with Lukaku on the counter. So I think they're just that damn good defensively, and that's that's no breaking news to anybody right here. So to me, it's Chelsea. It's Chelsea all day long. It's will they keep a clean sheet. A couple leans I have for this game is Chelsea to score in both halves because I like the value at plus 110. And then I also like Chelsea up over their team total at up over 2.5 at plus 154. And it kind of falls into some thinking that I've provided on my daily sports betting show. And even with Manchester City, as you know, Manchester City is going to win. We know how clubs like to get that nice 2-goal lead so there's no sweat late in games. So now it's, can they get a third at plus 154? I absolutely like that at plus 154. So those would be my two leans here in this game. How are you going to see Chelsea and Villa unfold?
I don't know. I need to see lineups here. Buendia, Martinez out. I saw this morning on PremierInjuries.com, Lukaku just went in for a thigh scan. So Lukaku's probably not going to play here.
The what?
Yeah. He did. He did. It just came in, I think, this morning. So it's like it's very new news. Traore, Bailey, questionable for Villa. I mean, I would be looking towards maybe even Timo Werner to score or something. It felt pretty, he'll probably get the start here if Lukaku misses, and you might be able to catch a good price now. But
let me see if they got odds on him to miss a sitter.
Minus 1,200.
Minus 1,200. That's right.
So, again, this one is just I don't want anything to do with this one right now. I've got to just kind of wait here and unpack this one and take a little bit more time on it.
Yeah, I missed that Lukaku news. I didn't know that. So
it just came. So
but that's impactful. I mean, that's their mega sign.
I would love Chelsea if Lukaku was here because, just some of these. But they're still gonna have Konsa and Mings. It's not an awful partnership. They've hung around with Chelsea before. I would probably be looking at unders here with just knowing Tuchel. With no Lukaku, kind of reverting back to last season. I think that they control this one. I would say unders just because that's what Thomas Tuchel does, and that's the easiest way for me to just think about it. And I think that Villa, with some of their absentees, will try and really keep this game tight.
Yeah, can't go wrong with under 2.5 in a Tuchel match. I agree with you right there. All right, you can go first. It's your squad. You got Leeds, first Liverpool. What's going to happen here?
I don't know. It is a really tough match to figure out right now. It's another one that is difficult to unpack. I really hate that there's no Fabinho in this kind of match. Phillips will be ready for Leeds. We don't have our center defensive mid in Fabinho, and he really makes us click. And then, speaking of click, I don't know if he will be there for Leeds. I mentioned that Rafinha is going to be out as well, so which one's the bigger miss? Rafinha, Fabinho, Firmino's not going to make it. It's another one that I'm looking at, waiting and seeing. No Alisson, so it's going to be. It's sketchiness in the back line. I just don't know. Virgil van Dijk rolled his ankle at the very end of his last international match. Does that mean he's going to be ready to go? So, again, just the theme of this week, it seems like just wait and try and check our Twitter accounts, really, because I'll definitely be in play with a couple picks. It's just right now with all of this news that's flowing in, it's I need some time to digest it and really try and figure out what are Liverpool going to go with here. They had trouble to try and bring back Naby Keita from the African qualifiers. It's all over the place. So I think that Liverpool should be able to scrape it. It all depends on how Leeds play here and how do they go gung ho? Because if they do, I think that they could score. I think that there should be goals here. When there's no Fabinho, I think that we're going to be a little bit more open. But yeah, again, it's just really it's a tough one to unpack.
Yeah, everything you've said kind of fits right into my lean, and I like it even more. I've got both teams to score and over 2.5. This is not going to be the Liverpool squad that you're going to get, game in and game out due to the issues that Matt has talked about. So we know how Leeds already likes to play their brand of football, attacking and pushing and forward thinking. You add in that they're going to be at home for this game, so they'll even want to do that even more. You'll see the lineup that Liverpool will put out there, so they'll want to go for it. So I definitely see Leeds getting on the score sheet. Yeah, I see Liverpool getting on the score sheet with their attacking prowesses up front that they have. So I like both teams to score, and I think you'll even see a third goal in this game, and that comes in at minus 127. So I think at minus 127, both teams on the score sheet get an extra third goal. I like that. I just really like that a lot. I worry about what's the drop off from Allison to the backup goalkeeper. I'm not sure how big. Obviously
it's a pretty big. It's a giant leap.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not even close. It's
just not. Everything I like about that with the lineup, changes that you're going to see due to various issues. I just like both teams to score and over 2 points and over 2.5 in this fixture. But what's going on? Do you know? This is the only match on Sunday. What's going on in the UK that we only get one game on Sunday? Do you know? I was curious.
No idea. This whole week is just so weird to me, Jason. So, it's just there's just so much like uncertainty this week. So it's not really a fun one for the viewers. I don't understand why there's only one match.
I thought they were being nice to me and let me watch NFL, so I wasn't angry. I was happy that there's only one game, so I can sit on the couch and just watch NFL. So I'm cool with that. But I just didn't know why they were doing that to me.
That is weird. We get some of that tonight, though. I'm super excited for some Cowboys Bucks.
I've been up since 4 a.m. thinking about the NFL. All right, we got one more fixture. It's on Monday night game. It's Everton and it's Burnley. Let's see. So I when I look at this game is, first of all, I correctly predicted Burnley was going to get a point before the international break against Leeds. I thought that they were just going to up on Sean Dice at home. Hadn't had a point leading up to that point. I thought that was a great spot for them to get a point, and that's exactly what they did. We also know how unders hit up under Sean Dice and Burnley. You've gotten under 2.5 now in 2 of their 3 games, so I like that. And I think that kind of plays into what Rafa Benitez does. He's going to give away a lot of possession. I mean, in their 3 games, they've got 48, 30, and only 34% possession. So he'll give it away. He's happy to do that. And Burnley's not going to have anything on the offensive side to really punish Everton. I think when they have maybe the lion's share of the possession, whether they do or they don't, I don't think they have a lot. Everton's looked really good. I think they got a good win up against a Brighton squad that I'm relatively high on. I think they'll be a good team over the course of the season. So with Burnley, what you're going to get, low scoring game, don't have a lot to punish Rafa Benitez's squad. Everton looking really good. I like under 2.5 in this fixture. If I was like a correct score kind of better, I could see Everton 2-0 would be my correct score bet on here. I like 2-0. My bet though would be under 2.5 at minus 118. What about for you?
Couldn't agree more. I mean, these two managers are the epitome of solidity and just not trying to give anything away easy. Everton will probably have a little bit more of the ball here, which doesn't, like you mentioned, like they're a counter-attacking team now. So they're not going to enjoy having the ball against Burnley. They're not going to be able to break Burnley down. So that right there. And then Burnley don't have the greatest counter-attacking players. They just did make a signing, though. I'm spacing it, but it's a good, like a winger signing from the French league. And he's pretty quality, but I don't know if he'll make his debut or not. So it's one. I completely agree. Under 2.5, minus 118. That's kind of where I would be going.
All right, let's put up our official bets. The one that we got our money behind. We've given you leans. Let's put our nameplate down and throw up our official bets. I'll go first. I know I've got the majority of them here. Here are my official bets. In that Crystal Palace versus Tottenham game, I like Kane to have 2+ shots on target at plus money at plus 110. And Brentford versus Brighton, I also like Ivan Toney to get 2+ shots on target, and you can find that at plus 160. I'm telling you guys, they're going to be attacking. They're going to go after Brighton here at home, so I love their number 9 getting 2+ shots on target. I like Manchester United to find the back of the net in both of those halves at minus 135. I like Chelsea to score also in both halves at plus 110. If I didn't know the Lukaku news, I would back off on their team total over 2.5 without Lukaku. So it's an official bet. I've already placed it, unfortunately, but I would give you guys a little bit of pause. Wait until you see if Lukaku is going to play or not before you get on that team total. And then the other one, Everton Burnley under 2.5 all day for me at minus 118.
I mean, that's what's so nice about the legal books nowadays, Jason. So yeah, if Lukaku doesn't make it, you can cash out and be all good with it. And so either way, West Ham, draw no bet for me. Very simple, 1 unit. I like it. Just don't think that they get beat here at St. Mary's. I think that they are better all around the park at every single position. The only thing that they need to be able to stop the set pieces from James Ward-Prowse, because he loves throwing it in the mixer, corners, set pieces. Just don't give away cheap fouls so that he has more opportunities on the ball. So if they do that, West Ham should be able to get the 3 points.
All right, I agree with you right there. All right, guys, remind everybody we're powered by BetUS. Check them out. We got a sign-up referral in our video description. You won't be disappointed with that book. And each and every single week, we thank you guys for watching our broadcast, whether you're watching it live, whether you're watching the replay. Thank you for commenting. Thank you guys for liking. Hit that like button if you're going to follow us on at least one of these bets. And as always, we wish you good luck on your bets. Unless you're fading us, then the hell with your bets. And come back next week after Matchweek 4. We'll see you guys next week. All right, Matt, enjoy these games.
You too, Jason.